Yo, it's Jazzy Black. I'm super excited to be kicking back on this DFW Business last Tuesday, and I've got a special guest in the building. She goes by the name of Bea Carroll. She is a corporate wellness speaker and is going to talk all things clinical dietitian stuff and how to get our bodies right and how to maintain our health, because sometimes we start and then we just don't continue. So today we're going to learn something new today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Jazzy. I am super excited. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I know you blend science-backed nutrition with real-world application to help business professionals like myself. So what does that mean, science-backed nutrition? Because I thought it was all science-backed.
First off, in today's world, we are overly inundated in so much information. You got Dr. Google, you got these nutrition gurus, you got all this stuff that is not individualized to you, the person.
Right.
And so when you think about science evidence-based, it's like, what is your makeup? What is your metabolism? What is your family history? What do your labs say? What is your day-to-day stress and grind? What is your cooking level? How can you fit this into your world?
Right.
And then what are the goals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it's an individualized approach. You just can't go get a meal plan and that's going to work. No. Meal plans are tools.
Right. And you know what? I don't even think about none of that stuff. I think, the older I get as women, we definitely pay attention to our bodies changing, what foods we can and cannot eat anymore. I remember the day I couldn't eat Wingstop anymore. I said, you know what?
Get out of here.
Wingstop.
Wingstop.
We are done with Wingstop. We won't go back anymore. But for people out there that are saying, hey, I would like to get more information and where do I even start? How does Honeybee Nutrition just kind of help us take our approach to nutrition and wellness as serious as we need to?
Okay, so from a one-on-one level, I meet with clients all over the nation. So I'm a multicultural RD. So anybody can see me on my website, honey, B as in boy, N as in Nancy.com. And I do a lot of speaking engagements around here in the Metroplex. I do virtual workshops, but we're actually coming out with actual workshops for the community.
Oh, cool.
The biggest one that's actually be released here soon is about GLP-1s, because we are in a GLP-1 culture.
Yeah.
Right? And so I wanted to actually just touch bases there, because I get a lot of people that's like, B, I'm going to take the pill now, or I'm doing the injections. But when they actually are in my sessions one-on-one, what people fail to realize is GLP-1s are really just slowing down your digestive tract, causes you to get constipated. You're not really eating a lot, but it may have a B12 inside, so you're hyped, like you're on an espresso shot, but you're not eating, so it's going to lead to other problems later. So most people, and I'm really glad I get the opportunity to say this, you should be working with a dietitian, especially to understand how your gut changes.
Yeah.
And the only thing you keep hearing, oh no, just keep up with your protein. No, you still need to have proper nutrition and protein and workout, but you got to understand what happens to the gut, because it slows down.
That was going to be my next question. Gut-brain connection. People should be paying attention to that. Talk to me about that, because it sounds like it makes sense, but I feel like you can definitely explain it on a deeper level.
Let me make that make sense, and I love analogies. So let's think about gut-brain. Terminology, hangry.
Right.
Are you familiar with that word?
Yep.
All right.
Happens all the time.
Gut-brain.
Yeah.
So now this is the prime phrase that most people say. No, B, I'm doing intermittent fasting. I don't eat breakfast. I eat at lunch. But guess what happens? You're hangry at lunch. Why? Because you have not given your body the fuel that it needs. So, and then you know what I say? Did you read that sentence 2 or 3 times? When you read that email, did that email make sense to you?
Right.
Did you have brain fog? Could you not complete your sentence? Mary came and said, hey, and you were just like, hey, Mary.
No, lady.
You-
Real deal.
And you're on edge. That's a gut-brain connection. That's just simple. Another way we think about gut-brain connection is even our hormones. So let's talk about the women's cycle.
Yeah.
Because that's the biggest topic right now. What happens to the body after 35?
Right.
Perimenopause and menopause. That's gut-brain too, but it's also too connected to the hormones. So when we think about our menstrual cycle, and I know there's some men listening to this, but y'all can learn a thing or two. When our bodies are going through stress in that moment and we're out drinking, having Wingstop or oxtails or these pasta dishes, our body gets inflamed and it causes our cortisol levels to go high.
I heard about the cortisol.
Gut brain.
Yeah.
Gut brain. And so outside of all these medical interventions, food is still one of the most vital resources because we are absorbing that, and it should be vital.
Right.
It should give us nutrients and all this.
Yeah.
But because we're not taught this at a young age, right, and a lot of people that I work with people from 22, and I think my oldest patient is 70 years old.
Wow.
It amazes me, and I'm going to be honest, Jazzy, I get the honor to be like, man, at this big age, I'm actually really teaching you how to eat.
Right.
At this big age.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'll say like the gratitude, and I'm always humbled when I do their labs every maybe 3 to 6 months, and I've been getting labs back, and girl, I just be celebrating.
Right.
And I had one lady last week and was like, B, man, my thyroid has just been so unregulated. And my doctor was like, you know what, it is what it is. We got her labs back. We stabilized her thyroid. She had an anti-inflammatory problem. I had one of my ladies specifically come to me for just acid reflux. B, every time I eat, I'm just always throwing up or I'm nauseous.
Yeah.
We healed her acid reflux, and her labs are now flawless. And we did that yesterday.
Wow.
She was nervous, and she was like, B, you made this post online, and I felt like you were talking to me. And I'm like, girl, I just be making these posts. And then we looked at her labs, and I'm like, girl, we improved your lipid panel. Your blood sugar stable. We didn't even think about your thyroid. Your thyroid stabilized.
Wow.
She has energy. But I told her, and just many people, we don't have to suffer.
Right.
The older we get as women, and you said this starting off, as women, we really start to pay attention to our bodies, which we should, because our body changes. You know, with time, we may have food allergies or food intolerances. But we don't have to suffer through postpartum. I mean, perimenopause, even postpartum. We don't have to suffer in menopause. We don't have to be upset and, you know, have to kick the sheets off of our legs because we're hot.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have to wake up at 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning because we can't sleep and all this stuff. We shouldn't have to do this.
Right.
And it's a blessing, Jazzy. And I know that, like, you asked me one question, I'm pretty long-winded, but I really get the opportunity because there's 2.6 black women in my industry, and I'm blessed to be one of them.
Yeah. You said something earlier that made me just kind of reflect on, like, even my own personal journey. I gained a nice amount of weight here in, like, the past, like, 6 months. Wow. And I mean, like, I've never weighed this much before. So obviously I'm like, what's going on? You know, my thighs ain't never rubbed together. My back has never rolled over. I'm like, what is happening? And, you know, we have this idea of, oh, it's just your grown woman weight. But I'm like,
that is it.
I'm like, is it just my grown woman weight, or is there something else that's going on? So now it makes me think, like, dang, you said something earlier. I'm like, I ain't even never heard of that. And I'm like, do I need to go get that checked out too? Like, what's going on? So I'm glad that we're having this conversation, because it definitely opens up people's minds to think beyond the surface of things that we've experienced and things that we've been taught, things that we've heard from our mothers and grandmothers that have never taken the extra necessary step to go in and say, well, let's just go and take another look to see what's going on. So I'm glad that you said that. What are some common nutrition myths or trends that you think people should stop believing?
And intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting works like for women in their 20s. That's when our metabolism is actually like at its prime. And so I'm actually going to answer that question and piggyback off of what you just said. I got my grown woman weight. You know how we normalize these different changes, and now we should be like celebrating like, oh my God, it just gained 30 pounds and it should be normal.
Yeah.
You know, I have hips and all this stuff. But when we think about this like a brand new car, right? So you get a lot of people, man, be like, when I was in my 20s, I could eat whatever I want. Yeah, your metabolism is going great. Right. Just like a brand new car.
Yeah.
You know, but you get a brand new car, you don't got to really do all the checks. You don't have to do all the maintenance.
Right.
But guess what? As you use that car over and over, and we have some wear and some tear, guess what happens? The efficiency of the engine goes down, just like the efficiency of our metabolism, right? And then we have our stressors,
right?
And then a lot of people, I'll put it like this, don't know how to eat.
Yeah.
Right? I'll get people, I had an apple. Apple a day keeps the doctor away, but guess what? An apple spikes your blood sugar. Right? So now you're like, but I have an apple every day. Man, you just keep spiking your blood sugar. You're not actually giving your body the true energy that it needs, because that's only going to last for 15 minutes.
Dang.
And then your fat cells love sugar. So guess what? You're probably going to gain weight.
Dang. Thinking that apple doing something.
And so so bringing it back to intermittent fasting, when I get women that say, I'm intermittent fasting. You know, I eat it from 12 to 8.
Yes.
But this, so what happens is, and a lot of people say, so you want me to eat more? No, I don't. I want you to have a regular schedule for eating so that you can feed your metabolism so that your body doesn't go into survival mode and then that next meal is vital because it's going to store it.
Right.
So your body is trying to help you, but we're inundated with, if I don't eat, I'm going to lose weight. No. Your body still needs to operate for you. It is still working. It is still clocked in. It's almost been an employee, but you can't have paper to print.
Right.
You can't have a pen to write down notes.
Ooh. We gonna start calling you Reverend B, the Nutrition Church of Christ, okay? God dang, she there preaching. That's crazy. Okay.
That's a good one.
Let's get into it. Who are your services best suited for? It sounds like everybody, though.
For the most part, my services are really suited for women.
Okay.
Women are my heart, and this is just a real shout out to my mom. I started out in the industry to save my mom's life. I'm an only child. When I was like 18, 19, my mom was severely overweight. And I remember like she would cook like fried bologna, the chili dog, chili, salami. And I remember just being a kid, and my grandmother had a farm, so I knew what it looked like on one side of the family to see fresh fruits and veggies and see all this boxed, macaroni and cheese. No pun intended to my mom, but we had this conversation, and I started to save her life. And then eventually, as my mom got into like perimenopause, I started to see her change there. Man, I'm gonna just say this, Mom. Mom, one day you left your labs on the table, and I looked at them. And then when I sent you that message with three words that she sent me, I sent that because I analyzed your labs because you left them on the table. And in our world today, because like being a woman of color, our family don't really tell us like what the family history is.
Right.
And so we can't really prevent these things from happening because we're not talking about it. So I kind of went behind my mom's back, and then she was like, do you know you sent me this? And she took it to her OBGYN, and it was to actually replace her hormones, progesterone, estrogen, and a little bit of testosterone. And now my mom is thriving because our reproductive system doesn't work the way that it did when we were younger.
Right.
So we need to give our body what it needs so that it can function.
Yeah.
Right? It's like putting more oil in the tank, changing out the timing belt in the car.
Yeah.
Right? So we have to do those things. And so now I tell my mom, I said, Mom, my love for you is now the domino effect of many of people around the world, And so I love women, like in a sense of it is going to be my life mission that women don't have to normalize the pain of our bodies changing.
Right. We need that. Amen to that. Okay, so, what do you hope people take away just after working with you or attending one of the workshops that are coming up?
That food is simple.
Yeah.
As complex as it is out here, it's simplified. It's not restrictive. We don't have to restrict food to, like, be healthy. We don't have to say, the phrase, I don't eat sugar. And then I'll be honestly be thinking, what the hell is sugar? Excuse my words. But you get that, I don't eat sugar no more. No. Carbohydrates are about 75% of what we eat. Those are vegetables, what we call fibers, fruits, and veggies, like, kale, broccoli, berries. And then you have the in-betweens, like it's watermelon season, so those are mid-level carbohydrates. It's still going to spike your blood sugars. Then you have the simplified carbohydrates, which are pastas or sweets and stuff like that. But those are all carbs. They still process as sugar. We don't have to restrict these things. You can balance it. And when you understand, like, balancing the plate and having fibers, fruits, and veggies so that we can stay fuller a lot longer, it can help with our blood sugar. It'll help with our cardiovascular system. Yeah. Having a lean protein. And you can still have rice. You can still have mashed potatoes. You can still have these things. But understanding the balance and the necessity of the plate itself. It's simple. We complicate it. And so, if anything, I get the honor that people already understand when they work with me that it's simplified. Right. And I love it when they tell their people, I can eat whatever I want. I love that phrase. You know why? Because food is the longest relationship you would ever have in your life. You're going to think about it. You come into the world either on the breast or on the bottle. And guess what? You leave the world with something in your system. It is the longest relationship. We celebrate with food. We cope with food. We congregate with food. Food is a love language. That is a relationship. Right. So why do we need to restrict? That's miserable. Right. So this diet culture that we are in, that's not sustainable. Right. And so I love to teach sustainable habits, that you can do one step at a time, and it's called habit stacking.
Habit stacking. I like that.
Because, I'm being honest, because people like to, oh my God, I'm on this kick, and they do a whole 180, and I'd be like, ooh, that burnout right around the corner.
Right.
But if you could just focus on, maybe I'll have breakfast every day and just stay there.
Right.
And now that's a habit, and now you've woken up your hunger, because we ignore the hunger, and it's almost like dating somebody. You're like, oh my God, they nagging me all the time, so you just ignore them.
Right.
We do that to our bodies, right? We ignore the signals. We ignore the hunger cues, so we wake that up first.
Right.
Now you're like, B, I'm hungry now.
Yeah.
Or even when I make people drink water, B, I was never thirsty. Now I'm thirsty. You know why? Because I'm reconnecting you to, like, your digestive system.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, this is so deep. Okay, for people listening right now that want to connect with you, just learn more about your services, do you have a book out?
So I'm working on a multicultural recipe book.
I would love to have your recipe book in my kitchen. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Well, you know what? How about this? When I
What?
publish it, I'll actually sign and send you one for free.
Let's go. Yeah. Come on. You got to come back to the rest. Give me the exclusive.
I got you.
Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, look, people listening right now that want to connect with you, they want to sign up for the workshops. When are the workshops coming up again?
In July.
Okay.
The very first one is on GLP-1s, and then after that, we'll be releasing the prime ones. What happens to the woman's body after 35? Those changes, perimenopause, and then menopause.
Okay. Yeah.
But we got to address the GLP-1 culture.
Yeah. And we got a lot to learn, lady. Let's get it together. People want to come check you out, social media, on your website. Where can they do that at?
All right, so social media platforms is Bea Carroll RDN, so that is BeaCarroll RDN. That's all social media, and then just website you can always find me. That is honey, B as in boy, N as in Nancy.com. Honey Bee Nutrition by Bea Carroll the RD.
Come on, gut to brain connection. Stop starving yourself. You can eat that turkey leg if you want to. You gotta have a plan. Okay, let's have a plan. Thank you so much.